Hey everyone, and welcome to the Hills Observers Council in 5. We're going to break down everything you need to know from the April 14th Village Council meeting.
All right, so who has 2 hours to sit through a council meeting? We do, so you don't have to. Let's jump right into what really matters. And just a quick reminder, we're the Hills Observer. We're all volunteers, just neighbors like you, trying to keep everyone up to speed.
First up, a big one, community safety. And boy, did this get a lot of attention.
Mostly because of a pretty eye-popping number. Yep, you're seeing that right, 62%. That's how much our spending on law enforcement has gone up compared to this time last year. A jump that big, you know it's going to raise some eyebrows, and for sure a lot of questions.
And Councilmember Wolf really hit the nail on the head, saying, I feel pretty safe. I don't really have a good answer for why we're spending 62% more. And that's really the core question, right? Is this spending increase truly necessary for our community right now? So the whole debate kind of breaks down into two sides. On the one hand, a big reason for the jump is a new contract that boosts salaries. Plus, there's this idea of being more proactive, having a bigger presence to stop crime before it even happens. But on the flip side, people are asking, where's the data? They want to see the numbers that prove this is what we need and understand exactly what would trigger spending even more. Speaking of data, let's look at what our constables were actually up to in March. You can see things like traffic stops, complaints they assisted with. The whole idea here is for the council to start tracking this stuff every single month. That way, they can build a real picture over time and see if the spending actually matches the activity. Now, on a much more positive note when it comes to safety, it's all about neighbors helping neighbors. The city is growing its partnership with Lakeway for the CERT program. That's the Community Emergency Response Team. This is awesome because it means more of us are getting trained in things like first aid and basic rescue. So if a big emergency ever hits, we'll be way more prepared to take care of each other. All right, let's switch gears and follow the money. We're going to dive into the village's finances, where the money's coming from, where it's going, and a pretty important utility deal. So when you look at the village's income, it's kind of a good news, bad news situation. The good news, sales tax revenue is crushing it. We're $40,000 over budget, which is fantastic. But the revenue from solid waste, well, that's trailing behind by about $45,000. So there's a gap there that the council is definitely keeping an eye on. And that whole financial picture brought up another really important topic. A major contract with Austin Energy. It's called a franchise agreement, and ours has expired. So what exactly is that? Think of it like this. Austin Energy uses our public land for all their power lines and equipment, right? Well, a franchise fee is basically the rent they pay the village for that privilege. And it's a pretty big deal for our budget. This is a key way the village makes money. For some perspective, the village is counting on around 60 grand from Austin Energy and another 25 grand from PEC from these fees. So what's happening with this agreement now? Well, the council decided to pump the brakes, which seems pretty smart. They've tabled it for now because they want to do their homework. The goal is to put the new offer from Austin Energy side by side with our current deal with PEC. They want to make sure whatever they sign is fair and consistent for all of us, no matter who sends you your electricity bill. Okay, so it wasn't all budgets and contracts. Let's talk about some of the really great stuff happening that's focused on just making our neighborhood a better place to live. All right, you're going to want to pull out your calendars for this. Parks and Rec has a couple of awesome events coming up. First, there's an Earth Day cleanup on April 22nd, a great chance to get out and beautify our community together. And guess what? The pizza and movie night that had to be rescheduled is officially back on from May 16th. And can we get a huge round of applause for the Welcome Committee? Seriously, they've put together this amazing new welcome brochure and a city map. It's perfect for helping new folks get the lay of the land, and it'll be up online and at the city office for anybody who wants one. And here's some really wonderful news. The council had the tough job of picking a winner for the Waste Connections Scholarship from 6 incredible applicants. A big, big congratulations goes out to candidate number 3. It's just so cool to see the amazing young talent we have right here in our community. So that's the quick and dirty on what happened, but this brings us to the most important part, really, why all this matters to you and how you can be a part of it. Look, the whole reasons we at the Hills Observer do this, it's because we truly believe that when we all know what's going on, our community is stronger for it. Just to be super clear, we're not part of this city, we're not part of the POA, we're just your neighbors, volunteering our time because we think everyone deserves easy access to this information. And honestly, you are the key to keeping this whole thing going.
When you hit like on this explainer or share it with a neighbor or follow our channel, you're doing more than just clicking a button. You're helping us reach more people. You're making sure everyone in our village understands what's happening and can have a say in our future.
So now we really want to turn it over to you. What stood out to you from this meeting? Was it that big 62% increase in safety spending? The whole franchise agreement thing with Austin Energy? Something else entirely? Drop a comment below and tell us what you think, and let us know what you want us to dig into next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.